Okay. So, hello everyone to this fourth ZUKI meeting, a very special meeting. And I will change to screen sharing straight away. So, yes. Okay, Biswajit wants to enter. I'll let him enter. Hello everyone to this really special meeting today. We are looking forward to a very special session. And before I start, could everyone please mute their microphones? Otherwise, we can hear noises that are made, unintentionally.
Shall I also mute my microphone? No.
If you are very quiet, Claudius, you needn't. No problem. So what's on our agenda today? Well, as we have already mentioned, first our special guest, Claudius, will be introduced. First a little bit by me, but then Claudia will take over immediately. Next, you will get some really valuable tips for your life from our guest speaker. And then a very interesting premiere, our first live job interview between Jagat and Claudius. And last but not least, there will be the feedback on your second Tell Me About Yourself videos. Today in a form that is a little bit different than the one we had last time, okay? So, I just say a few words about Claudius before Claudia will take over for a very special welcoming, okay? More personal. So Claudius was the Chief Executive Officer in Central Europe for a really interesting and big enterprise specializing in Italian espresso coffee called Segafredo. Sorry, and very successfully helped this company on its road to success in 8 various countries, had to tackle 6 different languages, and they have 300 employees, just to give you an impression of the size of this enterprise. And their annual turnover lies around 100 million euros. And I have just Googled what would that be in Indian rupees? You know, 1 euro is 90 rupees. So that would be 9 billion rupees annual turnover per year. But Claudius also has more than 40 years working experience as a product and marketing manager for detergents, hair shampoo, toothpaste, and believe it or not, you all know that, chewing gum. Okay, so those are the facts about Claudius. But now here comes some really important information from Claudia. And Claudia, it's your turn now.
Yes. You know all that, yes, my story with ZUKI now is 15 years. I'm doing ZUKI for 15 years. So many have congratulated me when I had my anniversary 15 years ago. And there are some special moments I never forget. And I never forget a phone call that I got in the year of 2010. I know that the place in Vienna where I have been, I was going to the movies actually in the 6th district, and it was Claudius who called me. And he was telling, I just returned from Kolkata. I was seeing your children, I was seeing the hostel, I was seeing the school, and I was seeing the schoolyard. And seeing this dusty schoolyard, I think there has to be a major change. I would like to give you the means to finance, to pay for transforming this dusty schoolyard into a beautiful playground, because I'm a dedicated sports person and I think all these children, they need a decent place to play football or basketball or whatever. And I was very excited about this idea. And Claudius told me that he already spoke to Father Xavier, and he was also very much in favor of it. And so the journey started. And yes, till this moment, Claudius, you are our playground uncle. And you came then a second time to Kolkata to see the playground, to see the tournaments, and we stay in touch since then. And every time I'm sending pictures of the basketball ground, of you playing, of all the successes. And I know that you are a real important playground uncle from the heart. And because there's such a long and important story about this playground and about everything that was happening since this phone call in 2010 when you called me, we made a surprise for you now. And so now you will see a surprise video telling the beautiful story of the ZUKI playground and Uncle Claudius, the playground uncle.
Claudius Galerie.
Bravo!
Claudius, can you please switch to gallery?
Yes, I go to gallery.
Okay.
And now let's give Claudius a hand. Bravo, everyone. Bravo.
Bravo.
This touched my heart.
Bravo.
Yes, this was supposed to touch your heart.
Incredibly.
So we worked on this, Surcho, Meudel and me, the last 2 days, because I said, now you are joining in. You have such an important role for the whole hostel, for the school, for everybody here, because everybody played on this playground. and many of you being here have big successes, being really great national basketball players. So that's why we wanted to give this introduction. We put this then on YouTube. You will get it also on WeTransfer, because the sound was not very good, I think. Now I didn't hear the music we were working on so long. But you can repeatedly watch it. It's your video and our gift for you. Thank you very much, Claudius.
Thank you.
Yes, and I also want to now hand over to Moidula, because having all these sportsmen here in our Zoom meeting, I think, Moidula, you want to introduce two of our really very good basketball players.
Hello, Claudius. This is Moidul. I have been in the ZUKI since I was a little boy, and I was also a national player, and I loved your basketball ground. It gave us a big opportunity to play, and it has been a great source of joy, fun, entertainment, and mind freshing for all of us. Whenever we were in stress or any kind of upsetness or maybe mental pressure, your basketball ground was always the painkiller. So thank you so much for this wonderful gift. It is so valuable, and everlasting that we can use it for decades. Thank you so much. It is a wonderful gift. So now, Claudius, we also have many other players, just like Sona Noskar. He has played national for 3 times. He has represented our state, West Bengal. So Sona Noskar, hello.
Yes.
Sona.
Yes, I'm
Sona.
here.
So Sona, what did playing basketball mean to you?
Basketball represent my blood, sweat, tears, passion, sacrifice, everything, almost everything. A sense of belonging like a family.
Wow. So can you please tell us your best memory regarding your basketball championship?
Actually, there are many memories, sad memory, excited memory. But I want to share my funniest one. That is whenever we used to win a champion trophy, they used to ask us, "What do you eat? You are so fast, so energetic. What do you eat?" Then we used to say that we used to eat dalia. We eat dalia. It is a delicious food, you know.
Yeah, the other I also remember how the other schools they got all the opportunities, but they were all amazed and surprised how we were so much short and we didn't have good physique, yet we we were champions many times, and we were one of the best schools of our state. We also have a Jagat Naskar, who is a huge basketball fan, and he's also a great basketball player. He also represented West Bengal, and both Sona and Jagat were in the basketball team when our state won the championship for the second time after 30 years, and they were a part of that team. Jagat, hello Jagat.
Hi, Claudius.
So Jagat, what is the importance of playing basketball and this basketball ground of ZUKI? What do you think?
Basketball ground, if Nalanda Vidyapeeth, that school is a body, then basketball ground is the heart of ZUKI. So that school, we have got standard. We can say that we have got our standard from that basketball ground. Most of the students who play, most of the students who studies, and if they get tired, they comes to the basketball ground and they play. So
yeah,
the study, this thing, and the children, they are being binded by the basketball ground. This basketball ground, this basketball ground is helping the children to study in a way.
yes, yeah.
Thank you.
So what do you want to tell Claudius, our playground uncle?
Hi, Claudius. Thank you for giving us the opportunity, making the ground, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to play such an expensive game. Thank you.
Thank you, Jagat. Thank you, Jagat. So thank you, Claudius, for such a lovely, beautiful gift for us. Basketball ground is really the heart of our hostel, and like every one of us is a part of this basketball ground, and it has helped us greatly. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Claudius. And today we all are excited to talk to you, to get ideas from you, and we are very excited to get inspired by you. Thank you so much.
Okay, Claudius. First, before
This is an incredible message. So I have some difficulties to answer this because it touches my heart, and I'm so emotional involved what you have told me. So thank you.
Very
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you so much, Claudia.
And also thank you, Socho, who was editing the video. Socho, you're not on camera.
Yeah.
I know lots of work. We made lots of changes, and we're thinking how can we put it into a really strong and powerful and touching video. So thank you very much for your work, and also Moidul for the interview and some texts that you wrote. Thank you. Okay, so this was our surprise introduction for a very important person for the whole children's village, what we have created, and this heart of our hostel, we said. And I'm also very I'm glad and also touched that your heart is always so strongly affected and bonded to ZUKI. Whenever I call you and whenever I'm sending you some pictures of I don't know, some children getting new dresses, sports dresses, or the new basketball ground that is renovated now, you always answer, I have tears in my eyes and I'm so happy to see this. So there's lots of emotion. The emotion didn't become less. It's still the same as in the year of 2010. So it's a great honor for you, for us, a great honor for us that you are here, and that you will be the first guest speaker in our empowering session and give us lots of inspirations about your job life and your ideas to, motivate all these young people here. Thank you, Claudius.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, well, I think I have, after that, time enough when I make my presentation to answer this. But Claudia, I never will forget this, what you have told me. And I did not expect 10 years ago what I have done. It was just a decision coming out of my stomach, out of my heart. This was never a rational decision or something what I have beared in mind to do it or not to do it. When I saw the rotten playground, the mud in what the children have played, with ambitious, with all their strength. So I just felt, let's do it. So this was, it touches my heart. That's it.
Yeah, cool.
So this was the beginning of a long journey. And as I said, the video shows the enormous successes. I was also really amazed to get to know what you achieved. I wasn't aware of everything, of these nationals and these big victories. So Claudius, I will hand over to you now for your keynote speech.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Now, let me start, and from the playground to your profession, to your professional life. I did not expect what my decision 10 years ago really brought to the school in India, in Kolkata. But definitely, I did the right decision. And today, I want to transmit you some of my very, very personal experiences, what I have got for my life and for my careers, for my career, with the basis of sports. Not only basketball, I was not a good player. I did it fairly good. I was much better in tennis. I was much better in skiing, but basketball shows you a lot of things. So from the playground, you learn a lot for your profession. You have to ask you, what is my preferred position in a team? Are you a fighter or a strategist? Are you a leader or a player? Are you offensive or defensive? Or even, are you a motivator, a dominator, or a terminator? What does it mean? You should think about your position in the team when you apply for a job. You should not apply for a job which is necessary to be a very strong fighter if you are a strategist. So look into your personality, look a little bit on what you have played, and then try to find the right job for you. It is not a question of what is better, being a leader or a player. It is never a question of I am just a motivator and I am no terminator. The question mainly what you can learn out of the sport and out of your position in a team is, what is my contribution in the team? What is my role, what I can play, and nothing more? So analyze your role in the team. So let's change to the next one. As you might know, every game, every play has rules. Now, rules, some of rules are difficult to accept, but any game without rules ends in a disaster. You know it, but very often you don't accept it. So ask yourself, in very silent moments of your life, do I accept rules without criticizing? Do I accept a referee who made a decision which might be right or wrong? The main question is, do I accept rules? Otherwise, if you don't accept rules, you will have a lot of problems in your further profession. You will have a lot of problems with law and order, because rules are nothing more than later on law and order. And rules never should be used as an excuse for losing or winning. Rules are part of the game and a fundamental part for your life. So my message is, accept it and don't rediscuss it. Now let's go to the next chart. The result of a game or a match, what does it reflect? It reflects just figures. In basketball, the result may be 70 to 60. But what does this mean? The result never shows your contribution for the win or for losing. These are just figures which does not reflect the quality of the match. And it does not reflect, as I mentioned, your contribution for the match. So try always to accept as it is. A result is a fact. And after that, you may discuss it, but from the defeat or from winning, you might learn much more. It makes you stronger. And it helps you to analyze your mistakes and your faults. And this gives you a restart. So accept it. Otherwise, even if you have won, it turns you out as a loser. And this never should happen. So let's change to the next one, which is fair play. So everybody knows that fair play is a fundamental part in a match, in a game. But everybody knows of you that fair play is difficult really to implement in the daily life. You will see it in your daily life. Fair play is disappeared, but it shouldn't be like that, because fair play, not even in sports, is fundamental for your daily life. It's difficult to accept, as I mentioned, but it makes you stronger. And it reflects your character, your type of person. And I bet you feel much better if you use fair play, because you get a fundamental thing back. You get back recognition and appreciation of other people. And this makes you stronger than you ever believe. With recognition and appreciation, you start to become a real winner. So after that, I have pointed out some items, so we should go to the next one.
Claudius, can I just stop here a little bit?
Yes.
Because I need to change the presentation. Those were such fundamental truths that you have just given to our young people, and this analogy with sport was so impressive. Although I had known a little bit already beforehand, I'm really deeply impressed, and I learn a lot as well. And I would just like to tell our coaches, please make mental notes of what you have just heard and save it for your feedback and for internalizing that into your lives later on. Then that was.
Shouldn't we ask now for questions already?
Yes.
Because there was so much input, so much precious things said.
You were just saying what I wanted to ask now, Claudius, because I know what precious input still is waiting, but yeah, in order to digest it, are there any questions, young people here, that you would like to ask now straight away, or comments, or I would just like to leave room in order, yes, as I said, to give you time to let it sink in. Is there anything you would like to ask, to comment here? Or maybe
I
it could also
have a question.
Yes.
I always have questions. Because you were talking about fair play, Claudius, and you worked as a businessman for many years. And I think business has somehow the reputation that sometimes you can't really make everything fair because you need the best price and you need the less costs. And is your experience really telling that you should do, or you can do it and win the competition with fair play in business life?
Well, this is a sophisticated question, definitely, because sometimes business has much more relation to fighting and winning. Business is just quantity oriented, but business is not always quantity oriented. Business is also quality oriented. I give an example. If you're in the business or in any profession and you you stay alone, then you have to use the rules of fair play. Mm-hmm. If you have a team and you don't recognize the team players, and if you make a business and you don't recognize your clients should be treated as a big value in your heart. Mm-hmm. And then you will get the job, or then you will make the business. And it is more a very emotional attitude. A fair play does not mean I accept all the fouls. A fair play is a question of your body mind, and it shows your character. And then you get the appreciation. I bet you, when I use a lot of pressure and when I was fighting like a bull, mm-hmm. the result becomes very difficult. If I have used quality-oriented approach and not only quantity, then it becomes much easier. At the end, you are the winner, but in the beginning, it's difficult to understand.
Mm-hmm. But you also had to report to people, to the owner of your company, haven't you?
Oh, yes.
So yes. I don't know, did they understand that quality is also has a big value? I think they want to know like the income and the turnover, and yes.
I have had a good luck with my boss. He was an excellent tennis player and he was an excellent sportsman. Mm-hmm. So we have met on a level where there was nothing to rediscuss, because we understood each other on the level that we accept each other and that we accept the rules of fair play. So he learned me a very important sentence. Don't support. He learned me a very important sentence for creating a team. Try always to support and to help the weaker people and use the help of the stronger ones. Mm-hmm. So if you use the rules of fair play, you never should kick out one of your team who is not one of the best, but who could be a big help of it. So it was never a question. We used the rules of fair play, and then we won the battle, even against the big ones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, and very interesting. Yes. Is there any other question? So, One more question from my side. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's cool.
I will shut up. But as you said, it's very, and I think it's also relevant for everybody listening here. It's important to find out if you are a team player or you are not a team player. And I know every time also in my business and the broadcasting business, it's very important to be in a team. But if you find out you're not a team player, so what is then your consequence? Does it mean that you can't, I don't know, you shouldn't join in a company because there it is vital to be a team player? What happens if somebody says, no, I'm not good in working in teams? What would you suggest to such a person?
My suggestion is learn to become a member of a team.
Okay.
Because in all the parts of the life, business, entertainment, whatever it is, a team is always stronger than a single person.
Mm-hmm.
It does not mean that a single person has no chance to survive. But for a single person, it is very difficult to find the right job, to find the right position. Even a doctor is not a single player. He needs the help of his assistants. He needs the help of the family. You're never alone.
Mm-hmm.
So this is more or less an artificial position to find a person lonely in your room and making something. Maybe a monk in his monastery,
Yeah.
he could be alone for some years. But what is he doing? He finds himself by meditation, by reflecting. And then he goes out transmitting his message. So you hardly can find a person who is alone. I don't know where it is. I have no idea.
Okay. Okay, good to know.
Mhm.
Hello.
Well, thank you.
Actually,
Michael.
I have a question. I don't know like whether this question is appropriate or not. Actually, since I'm not from a business background, but I am actually I'm excited to know about these differences between quantity and quality. What did Claudius you meant by quantity and quality? I think like it has a bigger meaning than what we are. I mean, like what we are understanding.
Okay, I give you
So,
the
like,
simple answer.
An example.
Business in quantity are the results, winning or losing, profit or loss, market share and turnover. These are quantitative goals. Every company has so-called quantitative goals, but a good company and a modern company has also quality goals. So what are quality goals? Quality goals is how do my employees feel in the company? How is my recognition in the company? How do I treat a guest? Am I polite or not polite? These are quality goals. Do I have empathy or not? A doctor could give you a medicine. Okay, that's a fact. But he has to look to your body and your mind. And then you see the quality of a doctor and not only the quantity. And earning money does not mean that you are becoming rich. Yes, rich in figures and rich in the quantity of money. But you can be rich as a human being receiving recognition, receiving a high social position. it's not only the quantities. Our world is so determined in quantities. We always want to know we have an increase of 5%, we have an increase of this and this. This never does reflect, are we satisfied with this? Do we destroy something by only focusing on quantity goals? I give you an example, the big industry, they make a big business, but sometimes they even destroy the nature. So you have seen there are quite a lot of goals which are quality oriented, and nothing without quality. Quantity is without heart, without any impact. So did you understand my message?
Thank you so much. Yes.
Mhm.
I did not understand you. Can somebody help me?
Yes, yes, I understood, Claudius. I understood.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Yes.
I can also bring just one more example about quality and quantity, because yesterday I was meeting a ZUKI sponsor and there were some other people from another NGO, and then they asked me about ZUKI and they said, how do you feel that now you have like 270 children in the hostel, and wouldn't you love to make 1,000 and 2,000 and help 3,000? And then I said, this is not my goal anymore, because I'm happier to see you, that we have like our restricted number, and then we can lead them having college, having a bachelor, having a master. This is quality for me. And this is much for me now, also seeing you, talking to you. I think this is more precious in my mind than just thinking in like the quality, the quantity of children, because maybe then you have to stop after class 10 for 1,000 children. So this is, from our ZUKI life, the example to explain quality and quantity. So you are part of the ZUKI quality philosophy.
Yes, you are a part of ZUKI quality, and you should be proud about your ZUKI quality and not being humble and say, I'm only ZUKI. ZUKI has a high quality approach, and I bet you this makes you strong. This makes you stronger than many others who are focusing just on quantities. And there is one saying in our world, the poor rich man, because they only have one sense in their mind: money, money, and money. So this doesn't help you, and this doesn't bring you further. Even it is necessary to earn money. I'm not against that. Don't misunderstand it. Everybody needs the money. Everybody wants to have a nice house, a nice family, and a big car. But it's not necessary to have the biggest one. It's just enough to have a nice one. Yeah, as Claudia said, 270, it's enough.
Okay. So thank you so much for this interesting, lively discussion that has evolved out of that. And I think coming back to this one point where this really interesting question, if someone is not team-oriented, then that's exactly the skill he needs to acquire. And that's also, is one of the skills why we are meeting here, why we want to make stronger personalities out of our coaches here. And Claudius, it's really so precious that you are sharing all this knowledge with us and with these young people. So this is now the point where we two move on, isn't it?
Yes.
And I'm going to share my screen again and to come to this second part of your really interesting input. You say that you have 12 factors for success. And
I
now
could have,
yeah. Yes.
I could have 20, but 12 is enough, and 12 is a good figure. So what I want to point out is some basics, some must to do's or must to have. So one of this is diligence. Diligence means nothing else than hardworking and being diligent, nothing more. So let's switch to the next one, please.
Okay.
Because it's nothing, it's not necessary to explain.
Mm-hmm.
But here I can explain a little bit more. Tolerance. Tolerance, as you see in this chart, is broad-mindedness. So tolerance does not only mean I'm tolerant between black and white, I'm tolerant between white and colored people. This is a fundamental thing. Tolerant is much more. Tolerant is friendliness. Tolerance leads you to friendliness. It is the result of tolerance is much more. The result of tolerance is brotherhood and love. And as you might know, you only can win in the life. You only can be strong if you live tolerance, if you live in respect, equality, and diversity. These are some of the bases. And I come back again. This is a very important part of a team. So let's go to the next one, please. This looks very bad. Accept frustration. Oh, I don't accept frustration because then it leads me into hesitation. Accept frustration does not mean hesitation. Hesitation you should avoid, but to accept the frustration is a fundamental point in your life. This is the fundamental item, the fundamental, this is an example how to become better. Frustration is very important to accept the frustration. And if you accept it, then you get stronger. And it's never the goal. It should not be the goal to reach 100% of the goal. Sometimes to reach 100% is the basis of frustration because you cannot reach it. Always try to accept or to set a goal which does not lead you into frustration. Sometimes to reach 80% is much better than 100%. And then you can restart. So accept the frustration and start again. So please, the next one. Oh, when I was young, no. This picture is with the word endurance. Endurance. Endurance gives you the time to reach your goals. Look into the nature. Where do you look into the nature? Where do you find endurance? Mainly by small animals. The bees, The termites in a colony, very small insects, they have endurance to do it, endurance to do it again. It is never a question in your business if you do something fast or slow. Much more it is better to have endurance to end it, to finish it, and to think about that. So this leads to the next chart, which looks also, oh boy, subordination. Subordination. Every leader, every person who wants to become a manager, or he wants to become something like a leader in a game, something like a leader in a small team, not a big manager, has to learn subordination. And if you have learned subordination, you are becoming the big one in this picture. You should focus on that. I want to become a big one. But the way to become a leader, a manager, or a good trainer, or whatever is start with subordination. Or I give you another example. From dishwashing to the president, the dishwasher has to subordinate. But you know, many stories from people who start the career as dishwasher and now are big players in the world. Accept it and you become bigger. So please give me the next one, which is one of my favorite pictures. In this picture, you see 4 cats. The second from below is the mother. The others are the 3 cats she has born. And when I opened the door in my small house in the south of Europe, the 4 cats were looking at me. And they survive only by being a good team. So the team orientation, the team, as I mentioned before, is always stronger than a single person. Team spirit is like a drug in your life. So it helps the 4 cats to survive. And these 4 cats becoming my big friends. And this was, this is the reason why I selected such a picture with a lot of emotional content. So please give me the next one. Strong willingness. Well, I only say, if you want to reach something, you just need some very few words. I will, I do, I make it, I am convinced, and I am good. That's all I have to say to this, nothing more. So please change to the next one. Well, physical and mental fitness. Your body is the instrument for your life. And your soul is the real manager in your life. But your body and your soul are a unit. They always work together. With no fitness, no result. And a very fundamental effect of physical and mental fitness. People who have physical and mental fitness are looking better, and they transmit their enthusiasm. They transmit how good they are. So work on it and never forget, without physical and mental fitness, you cannot win the match. So please give me that. This is a picture of a rider riding a horse. It is my daughter. She is not the big winner. She is not a very strong person. But in some times of your life, she shows the self-confidence. And the horse would not jump over this fence if the rider is not convinced and the rider does not show self-confidence as that the horse jumps over it. So there's another very nice wording to remember. Barack Obama has said, yes, we can. And I'm very sure and I'm convinced you can do it. So please give me the next one. Education. Well, all of you know education is lifelong learning. It never ends. It never ends. When you have passed your final examination, education starts again. It starts again and again and again. By learning something, remember one thing: nothing is in vain. Nothing is without sense. It is a never-ending process, and it starts from now on until you're getting old. So please give me the next one. Without enthusiasm, without showing I want to do it, I can make it, you will not reach something. A team and a person without enthusiasm is in the beginning a loser. So it is the base of reaching a goal. And it is a question also of physical fitness and mental fitness. With enthusiasm,
Oh, sorry.
you can change the world. No, let's. I'm just give me the last one, which give me the next one. Excitement. Now this is me and my girlfriend, and you know, I always think I can reach the sky. You can reach the sky with excitement and believe in you. So do not look for problems, solve the problems. And here again, and now I end up, do it, make it, and show it. Then it will help you to find a good and very perfect procession and a good way for your life. And do it and make it, and I will help you. So long.
Oh, thank you so much, Claudius. That was so impressive. I don't want to spoil this special spirit, and I pass on to questions. I'm sure there are some questions among you that you would like to ask Claudius now. I mean, if not, I do have one.
No, I have a question. I do have a question.
Okay, good. I will ask mine later on. Go on, Modul.
Yeah, Claudius, I want to talk about that acceptance. And you know, sometimes
acceptance of frustration. Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
when you give your 100% of effort and you fail, but then again you you motivate yourself and you accept it, and then again you go for the second time, and then this time maybe you don't fail, but you are made to fail by corruption, by the system. Then how to accept that? In India it is a very, I mean, it happens very often. So how to accept
It's a
this?
very good.
And
Yeah. No, I mean, accept the frustration does not mean to accept crimes, to accept corruption, to accept bad things. But, Modul, you cannot fight against windmills. You only can accept it, and if you always get and if the frustration turns into what I mentioned, into hesitation, then it becomes difficult. But the more you accept it, the better you can live with it, because otherwise it destroys you. The only solution is I go to another country, and I can tell you, corruption also exists in Austria. Corruption is like a disease in the world. So either you accept it, or either you fight against it. But to fight against things where you never can win leads you into desperation. And it is better to accept it instead of dying from desperation, dying from depreciation. So try to handle it. That's my message. Try it. I have no recipe how to do it, because sometimes it kills you. But it is even worse if you always fight against something what you cannot win. This is my message.
Mm-hmm. But it is a big decision being part of this game, I think.
It is.
In Moidul's case, I think, Moidul, you told me, Moidul has made studies of journalism. Now 3 years, he has his bachelor, I think, or very soon you're having your bachelor degree. And
yes,
as you know, I'm also a journalist. We were exchanging ideas, and he says he doesn't want to work at a newspaper in Kolkata or a radio station, because there it's not free like in our place, where we can also criticize the government. But there in India, you have to just report what the government says. So I think it's a decision. He can decide, no, I will try to work in another branch. Because you, Claudius, said you should be part of this game, but I think it's the more honest attitude to say, no, I don't want to be part of the game.
It is. But Claudia, as you might know, a missionary always fights for his ideas. And now you have to ask you a simple question. Do you want to make an endless fight? Do you want to end in a cemetery? Or can you find a way to go through? I don't know the definite solution. I can't give you a definite answer. But I often was in the position that I was deeply frustrated. And I was sitting on my table and say, no, I don't want, I cannot go further. But as soon as I have overcome it, I restart again. But if it kills you, you have to avoid it, definitely.
Mm.
okay.
Good
Thank
topic.
you. Thank you, Claudius.
Mm-hmm.
So may I point out another thing shortly.
Of course.
Many of my words are not a solution for all the problems. What I want to transmit to you is that I give you some tools to get stronger, to get much more self-confidence, and to win and to survive in a very, very difficult world. I'm not a prayer. I have learned this from a lot of facts. And sometimes I was totally down to earth. And then I accept, okay, and now I do it again. I do it again. That's one of the approaches what you may find in your life.
Mhm.
Are there some more questions? Having somebody talking about top life and the philosophy you can also use for your point. You are just standing in your life. Because I think these points of enthusiasm and excitement, I like very much this part also. And because I think for them, many here, they are trying to find their ways, you know, what kind of profession should I choose? What kind of college should I choose? And I think this is always the question you should ask yourself. Where do I really get enthusiastic doing this? This is my, you know, what I saw in my life.
Enthusiasm. Sorry.
Yes,
sorry.
you know, the topic or the profession or what that makes you enthusiastic, then I think it's the right way to go. If you say, I want to study this because I'm very interested in, I don't know, science, or I want to become a scientist because it makes me excited to have some new revelations, then enthusiasm is a very good, how do you say, Gradmesser, an
indicator,
you know, what talents you are having and what makes you happy in life, I think, in professional life.
Mm. Okay, Sabine.
Enthusiasm.
Oh, sorry.
Enthusiasm, it is like a drug. It is like if you start enthusiastic, if you start emotional, then you're feeling stronger. You can reach the goal. Otherwise, it's difficult.
Sabine, you have raised your hand.
I have.
Go ahead.
Claudius, it's totally inspiring to hear you speak, and you've obviously been incredibly successful. And when you look back, you can see all the ups and downs of a long career that ended well. I speak to quite a few of the young people. Corona has brought such a difficult situation into their paths. They are full of motivation, they've worked very hard, but they can see at the moment this huge problem that is affecting jobs, affecting their studies, their whole sort of optimism in life. How did you dig deep when life was difficult?
This is, well, I remember. First, one of the things of my tools was self-reflection. I just went out of the office and tried to reflect what happens now. How do I feel? Is it worth to accept it, or is it worth to fight against it? Maybe this leads you to a decision, and frustration leads you to a decision. Either I continue or I don't or I discontinue. So the way how to handle it is very different. Ask some friends. Here again, we are in a team. Ask your partner. Go into the church and make a meditation. How do I feel? Try to accept it. Try to make it. I always call. Try to make your problems into a friend. Try to have my problems are my friends, and not my problems are my opponents. Maybe this could help you. It's a good way. And physical fitness, mental fitness. The stronger your body is, the stronger your soul is, you better accept the frustration. And never go into the way, in another way, to destroy yourself with drugs. This I definitely never did, not even with alcohol. I only drink alcohol if I feel good. I never drink alcohol if I'm desperate.
But if we take the example, somebody's looking for a job and he doesn't find one. He is always rejected. So if I or he makes this problem now his friend, you know, what is the next step? I just want to know, you know, making a problem to one's friend, it sounds good, but in practical life, I don't really know what to do with it, this tip and advice.
In my office, back, I have made pictures. I have made a small picture. And on this picture, there was written a sentence. Are you coming with a solution or are you part of the problem? So it's again, try to find a solution and not try to always to react. Find a solution, find a way of escape. I mean, if you are on a sailing ship and there is heavy weather, a storm, and the ship is more or less shipwrecked, what are you doing? You don't fight against the wind. You go with the wind. You go with the waves to find a way out and not against that. It's much more, it costs you much more energy always fighting against a big player, a big corruption. Try to find another way, open another door. If you always go into confrontation, it costs you a terrible energy. And sometimes it is much better not to go into the confrontation. Try to be tricky and to find a way out.
And can I just continue this thought of Claudius when he said, because I know it sounds provocative, accept a failure as your friend, but if you do that and see the chance to learn about yourself or to ask yourself the question, for example, you can't find a job and you are turned down again and again, and you have this bitter, dark feeling inside of you, you can ask the feeling, you can accept it and say, what do you want to teach me? What can I learn from that? What is my mission? Why does life pose this challenge to me? don't fight against this dark feeling, but accept it first, and then look what it does with you, how it can help to make you stronger. Yeah. Claudia, can we look at the time in the meantime and our agenda?
Yes, I think the job interview would be great to still make it, because then after don't look, we will watch the videos next session, I think.
Yes, I was. Sabina, you want to? Yes, I agree. We are flexible. We feel inside that it would be too much doing the videos as well, but the job interview is a very important point.
Because Claudius said he would. So we will take
Sabina
of this.
Sabina, you have raised your hand.
Okay, I wanted to lower it, but I just want to say also there's so much input, and I think all of our young people would do better to absorb all those messages if we left it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just put my hand down in time.
Okay. Okay, Claudius, while you were away, just for the agenda, it is so important what we have heard today, what our young people have heard today. We must give them time to digest. So our final point is this job interview where Jagat has volunteered to be the candidate. So let's have a look. Let's do that now. Are you ready as the interviewer?
Yes, more or less, more or less, because it's not so easy, because it's but let's try it. Let's do it.
Let's try it. Okay. So that means, yes, here we are. I go to screen sharing again and take up where we stopped. We stopped here.
Yes, next chart.
Next chart.
Live job interview.
Yes, exactly. So I just let's have a quick look at the job ad, and that's why it's so important, folks, that you send us your job ad so that we know what you are applying to. Well, everyone can read it himself, herself, and okay. So I pass on the microphone now to Claudius and Jagat.
Shall we change the modus? No.
Yes, you are right. You are very right. Thank you. We have now looked at more or less, we know what it's all about. And yes, you are right.
Okay.
Yes.
Good like that. So, Jaga, you applied for a job, and what is the reason for your application? Please give me short and precise answers.
Sir, I am a freshers. I have just completed my MCA program. So I am interested in software. I love doing coding. So I have applied for this coding interview.
Yes, but you in the in the ad there is one important word. Did you read it for your person? It means passionate. Are you a passionate person?
I'm a passionate person, but I don't believe that I should choose my passion as my career.
Yes, but I mean, I need, can you show me or can you explain me what you understand with of being passionated? Because
being passionate means something. I didn't get you.
Sorry. I just showed the ad again.
So, do you hear me? No, no. Yes, Jagat. Do you hear me again?
Yes, Claudius.
Yes.
I can hear you.
Okay. I would like to know something more about you. So, what type of working experience do you have until now? I don't.
Yes,
Jagat, did you understand my question?
yes, sir.
Do you have some work? Give me something what is not, which is in between the lines of your application. What type of job experience do you have?
I have learned different programming language during my college course, and now
What language did you learn? What?
I have learned C.
Yes.
Now I am doing internship in Python programming language.
So I would like to know something more. What was your favorite subject in school, in university, or during your education?
My favorite subject when I was small, it was science and computer science. It was my worst subject, means I didn't like it at all. But at some point of time that I had a realization, and I thought I need to work on computer science. And I started working by myself, and I felt.
Yes, but I think I know that you are interested in computer science, but did you have some other favorite subjects in school? Like, I don't know, tell me some other subjects, what you are good in.
I was interested in physics. I was interested in physics, in computer science.
What is your favorite sport?
Obviously, at first I liked football, but since in our school we didn't have any football ground, I started playing basketball, and it became my favorite. Basketball is my favorite game.
Are you a good player?
Yes, I am one of the best player. According to me, I am one of the best player. I played for St. Xavier's 3 years. I was the captain of the basketball team of St. Xavier's. I have represented St. Xavier's in the university level also.
What are your hobbies when you are not making sports and when you are not making some schools? Do you have other interests?
Yes, sir. I like reading books.
What
fictional books. Fictional
what
books.
Huh?
Fictional books. Reading fictional books, story books. I have read Paolo Coelho. Then I have read Chetan Bhagat's all the book, 5 Point Someone. Then I have read
I don't understand.
2 States and other books.
How did you come to Paolo Coelho? How did you? Why is it such an interesting book for you?
So Paolo Coelho, it tells us the story of a shepherd. Means how in your life you should follow your passion, other than following something else.
Yes, I can agree to that. He's very interesting. He's, I think he's Brazilian, isn't he?
Yes,
Yes, the boy is from Brazil.
Yeah, yeah.
65 million copies were sold.
Yeah,
Books copy.
It's a very famous writer. So finally, do you speak other languages except English and your mother language?
Yes, sir. I can speak in Hindi also. I have a little understanding of Spanish, but I can speak both Hindi, Bengali, and English.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Would you like to learn another language? Because I think we need something. We need some young people who speak Vietnamese or Chinese.
Sir, I will love to learn some other language.
Mm. Mm. Okay, it's quite interesting. But what I would finally like to ask you, do you think that your application is shows that you're a passionate person again? I mean, what I want to transmit you, show a little bit enthusiasm, Jagat. Show a little bit more enthusiasm. I'm not killing you. You should be, because you are such a sympathetic guy, yeah? You should love more. You should loving me, look into the files. I know it's difficult because it's artificial. Yeah, it's
the network. Ich glaube, es liegt an Network eher.
Ja, es ist schwierig.
Leider.
But can I come in here as a moderator? Claudius and Jagat, thank you so much for this interview, for letting us watch you and learn from that. And Claudius, I think with your last question, you already entered the meta level.
Yes.
Where you were starting already giving feedback to Jagat. So shall we now change to this level and give Jagat a feedback on his interview? But first, I would like to ask Jagat, how did it feel for you to be in such a, I mean, still artificial, but still near life interview situation? Tell us your feelings, please.
Ma'am, first I was nervous, but when the interview started, I feel comfortable. Means it was like casual meeting type of thing. So I liked. So I was not giving the interview. I was in it. Means
okay. Yeah, so at the beginning you were nervous, but then you became a little bit more self-confident. And now that the passionate thing, I think, Claudius, this aspect must be highlighted by you again. And I leave it now to you to, on a meta level, give Jagat feedback, how you experienced the interview.
You mean I should?
Yes, please.
Yes. Well, I know, Jagat, this is a terrible and a difficult and a high pressure situation because being interviewed by video, it's you have no chance to escape, and it's very difficult to handle this. But I think one of the things is you gave clear, short and precise answers. So compliments to that. This was excellent. Secondly, you have shown your willingness to learn something new. So you have shown, yes, I want to do it. And if necessary, I learn another language and I learn an additional language. This was an excellent part. Another thing is, which was not so good. I asked you for working experience. Well, you don't have a lot of experiences, but even small experience are like a brick in the wall. It's like a tool. So use all your arguments that you have some experience, that you will catch some experience. If you say, no, I don't, is not a good answer. Give the answer, oh yes, sir, I will catch up some more experiences. This shows that you are willing to do it. So I found it's very good. And last one, you are looking, you are good looking. You're a charming guy. So show it, please. Show it that you're a charming guy. Show it that you can laugh and win. Open your eyes and love it. So that's my message.
Oh, well, thank you. And Claudius, now you have really explained what you mean by passionate.
Yes,
and you focused on passionate because it was written down in the ad.
It was written in the ad.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
That's why.
It was a nice ad because we are hiring, and say goodbye to your lame duck job. Yes, a lame duck, yeah. And then the first sentence, we are looking for a passionate software engineer. And if they are looking for a passionate software engineer, show you're passionate.
Mm-hmm.
And then you win.
Okay, good. Moidul wants to ask one more question, because then we must be nearing the end. We want really to stick to our time limits. Moidul, you want to say something? You raised your hand.
Yeah, actually, my question is to Claudius regarding the interview only. So, Claudius, how do you differentiate between two interviews? For example, if maybe one interviewer is very good in, conversing with people and talking and maybe influencing people, but he doesn't really have the skills and qualities, but he's good in talking and interacting with people. But the another interview, he has the real qualities that the company require, but he's not good in talking. So how do you differentiate that?
I don't know if I have understood the question. Can you help me a little bit? What does it mean?
Luis,
you mean one is good in talking, so he has the skills of conversation, and the other one is not. Yes.
Yeah.
I can give you the answer. Learn it.
Yes.
Learn it. Learn it in front of your people. You should go to your friends and make a training session. Go to your friends, to your girlfriend, whatever it is. So to a group of people and tell them, listen, my friends, I want to show you how do I apply for a job. And they should criticize you without any excuse. And then you can learn it. Then you feel better. Can you imagine that an actor on stage, how many rehearsals he must have to become a real actor? It is not only learning things by heart. You have to transmit your enthusiasm. You have to transmit your message. And this is learning by doing, nothing else.
Mm-hmm. That was a very, very important tip, Claudius. It's the same that I so much liked when you said, I'm not a team player, then learn it. And that's why you are all here for. To learn especially qualities like that.
Hello,
Yes.
I have one more last question. Sorry to interrupt, but I have
No, go ahead.
actually, Claudius, my question again to you only. According to you, I mean, like, what kind of qualities? I mean, if I want to apply to your company as an employee, what kind of qualities you would like me to have? And
Oh, yes.
Which position is the question?
I would like to have a young, enthusiastic, sportive, and dynamic guy who is willing to learn many new things and who is not only time-oriented, who is job-oriented. He must be diligent in working. He must be punctual. He must be reliable. And the quality of shaking hands, you know what I mean? If I promise you to be on time, then it is a must to do and not a discussion. If we meet at 5 o'clock, I want to have you 5 minutes before 5 o'clock at the appointment. So many young people don't follow these simple rules, but it shows me exactly what type of character are you. Can I rely on you? Can I trust you? These are the things what you have to transmit. It is not important that you are, with your age, educated like a university professor, educated in this and that. You just have to show your willingness to do it. But many other things, what I mentioned before, what I counted on, are fundamental part. And then you get the job, I bet you.
okay, thank you so much. Then I'm going to develop all those qualities and I will apply in your company.
Okay. I'm already 70 years old, so I'm not anymore the boss of the company. But I can learn you many things, or I can tell you many things. You just have do it,
Okay.
and learn from doing.
Okay. Thank you so much, Claudius.
You're welcome.
Yes, Claudia, what do you think? I think we have arrived at such a good point now here, and we are already 11 minutes longer than planned.
Mhm.
And this has been such a valuable session. And especially this last spontaneous input. Moidul, thank you for your interesting questions.
Yes.
And because Claudius, you know, when I was in Kolkata, I gave him them this sentence, and they heard it in our sessions. The employers, they look for the attitude because they can train the skills.
Mhm.
And it's exactly that what you have brought across now in such a way that only you with your experience can transport that. So thank you really very, very much indeed for joining us, for all the effort you put into the preparation, for learning Zoom, especially for that. You know, Claudius walks his talk when he says that education never stops. And being now so self-confident, I mean, handling this tool as if you have been using it for years already now was really great.
I would like to make a picture of also this session. Luisa, you want to make it?
Let's see, I go to gallery.
Mm-hmm.
And
everybody please put on the camera, Yes.
But you know what, but I have to do it in 2 installments, Claudia, because I have.
Should I make it with the mobile?
I mean, I can just you know, as a backup. Ready? If you everyone smiles. 3, 2, 1. What, Claudius? Can you please look at the camera?
Oh, yes.
So that was number 1, and now the second one. Okay, but and you too, Claudia. Okay, I'm ready, steady, go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that's from me now, Claudia. If you do one.
Yeah, I just yes, I've done it already. Okay, everybody.
Oh, but I was talking.
Yeah. Oh yes, everybody looks into the camera. Okay, our first guest speaker. Thank you very much.
Okay, because then there's not a lot left, dear friends, that I have prepared here, because as we said, the feedback on your videos will be the main focus in our next session, 2 weeks time, but we will write about that in our group, and you will get the information later on. So as usual, the question here at the end, what's your homework? Relax, take it easy, because we would like you to do is take your time to reflect about everything you have learned in this session. And there were some really jewels in there, I know. And give us your feedback, as always, in the questionnaire. Today, there's only 1 or at the most 2 questions. It will be important, but not too long. Yes, and try to integrate as much as possible from today's learnings into your life. Not starting tomorrow or next week, but starting today. Yes, that's all from us for now. Anything else? I don't want to be rude and cutting it off. Any last comments?
For me, as a newcomer in
Yes,
this team,
Claudius, how did you like it?
it was a great, great pleasure for me. And one sentence, what I have said, is now valid even for me. Learning never ends. This was my experience of today.
Great.
Thank you so much, Claudius,
Thank you so much.
for being with us, and we have learned a lot. And I hope we can apply your tools in our life.
I hope so.
Okay.
And thank you for everybody joining in. A big number today. Yes, it's getting, better and better.
Thank you so much for the special guest.
Yes, we will continue.
Thank
And
you so
also
much for
Claudius already
arranging
told us that
yes.
he would be willing to come for a second time for some other topic maybe. Is this
Oh,
right,
yes,
Claudius?
definitely.
Is that
And I
fine?
would like to say
Yeah.
to all of you, namaste, as I have learned it.
So
Danke.
take care. Everybody's asking me about India and calling me up. So just please be careful so that we meet again healthy and safe in 2 weeks.
Claudia,
time.
today you were looking extraordinarily beautiful. I don't know why. Maybe
I put something. I something.
maybe it was the effort of some app, but you were looking beautiful. It was just a joke. You are naturally beautiful.
Beautiful filter. I'm not aging. Okay. So.
Okay, I think this was really a very, very nice compliment, finishing remark at the end, Claudia.
Yes, I take
Nothing
it.
more to add. So thank you all for now. With 3, 2, 1, I'm going, hang on, there's in the chat. Yes, you will have rich opportunity for feedback in the questionnaire. So we will read from you there again, and have a good time. Take care, stay safe and healthy. And Claudius, thank you one more time. And goodbye. Ready?
Bye.
Steady.
Goodbye.
Go. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.